What do you do with your journal when it's done? Do you ever make a journal because you love the paper or you have a new idea? Sure you do. So have I. But once that journal is done, sometimes that beautiful journal goes on a shelf, unused, with all the other unused journals. Don't worry, it's happened to me too. Well, here's one way that you can use those beauties. Learn and document. Ah, yes. See this little beauty? That one. This journal is different. It's deliberately small, and I'm using it to study joy. Joy not as just as a feeling, but as a fruit of the Spirit. It's my first week's vehicle for the hashtag Faith Journal July 25. Challenge. It's a challenge hosted by Diane at Faith Art Designs and Debbie at Pouring My Art Out for the Lord. There's a link in the description. I made this little journal from a tutorial by Pam at Silver and Sparkles, and how to make it, the link is in the description also. Here we go. It's the first week, and this journal is deliberately small because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. If I choose to do only 1 week of this challenge, that'll be okay, because this journal completes that week. Then my journal, it's going to go on the shelf, and it will be full, documenting joy. And yes, I am going to work on week 2 of this challenge in another new journal for week 2. And this is what learning looks like for me. Let's finish this, the last day in this little journal, together. I have the journal scripture and the instructions, and you can get them all over at, I'll link below where you can get them all. And I want to just keep things simple, because as you can see on the right, there's instructions and questions to ask and reflections, and I'll be doing that on the piece of paper included. But I want to decorate this little journal. And I'll start with creating a background for the scripture that goes with today's prompt. There are 23 prompts in this challenge, so 5 days a week. It started on Monday, so only 4 days this week. And then Saturday is like a roundup by Diane and Debbie. Each day of the week, there's a different creator that does something in their journal and talks about the scripture and what it means for them, to them, at this season in their life. I don't usually talk about faith on this channel, but it's something that I participate in regularly, and I have a journal that I write in every day that has to do with my Christian faith. So this is just a part of my, what can I say, my junk journaling journey, adding faith to a journal. So there, I think that will look nice. It'll work with the overall aesthetic of the journal, and it'll house that scripture quite well. This paper is by Carta, and it's the Floral and Botanical. I'll link below to that if it's still available. I have these papers in my closet where I keep all my scrapbook ages. And when Pam at Silver and Sparkles showed her little tutorial to make this small journal, I thought, this is perfect. I'm going to use up some of my 6x6 papers and make this little journal, and I'm going to use it for this challenge in July. I didn't know whether time would permit me to do more than the first week, so choosing to make a small journal was intuitive. But now that I realize the benefits of a small journal, the fact that it'll be filled and completed on my shelf as opposed to blank, then it became more and more, I became more and more comfortable with small journals. And I wonder, do you make smaller journals deliberately? I have before, and I think I will again. I'll often get a book from the library that I want to study a concept. And of course, you can't keep a library book, but I want to keep what I've learned. So I will make a journal and put all that I think about or I learn or quotes into a junk journal. And so that's another way that I fill up my journals. Again, still learning, documenting what I learn. And those journals are on my shelf too. And when I want to remember a particular book, I know exactly which journal I've talked about it, wrote about it in, and I can grab it off the shelf and I can reference it. You know, if somebody asks a question or I want to review a concept, there it is on the shelf. I think better with a pen in my hand. I know that sounds funny, but it's the truth. So here I'm using brads to attach it to that ribbon. And then I will glue down the ribbon. And it'll work out great. I'm using Fabri-Tac. I don't know, I could have used the Art Glitter Glue. It would have been fine, but I chose Fabri-Tac. And attach it to that last page. And I think that finishes off the week. All of the torn out scriptures and statements are in the pack of journal ideas. I'll link below to that by Diane and Debbie. This is a hidden paper clip, and I'm thinking it needs something there at the top, but I don't know what yet. Tune in next week, and you can see what I decide to do, even if it's nothing. And you'll see the new journal that I make for the second week. And these journals, they're not complicated, but they are something that intrigues me. It'll have some kind of element that makes me smile. And that's one reason why this one from Pam at Silver and Sparkles, I wanted to make it. So I have a little bit of trim. I have some ribbon, both the purple and this one here, the daisy yellow. And you can see I've written my notes in there. And I've used different techniques. This is a flipping pocket. Pam started something like this, and I didn't make it the way she demonstrated in her first video for this challenge. But that's a little embellishment. I put something on it to make it shine. There's the whole study, and I've finished the 4th day now. And if you want to join in, I invite you to check out the links in the description of this video. In the meantime, take care. It's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. Watch for Tuesday. This Tuesday, I'm going to start a new series, so I'll have 2 videos in a week. But bye for now. Take care.